Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. This is episode 162 and today we're starting things off in the platforms of our slime farm. As you can see, if you missed the recent episode of Hermitcraft, was it the previous episode of Hermitcraft that we built this? Yeah, I think it was. Sorry, I've got myself all muddled up because I was pre-recording for Ireland and everything like that, which for those of you who are wondering, Ireland was awesome, absolutely love the country, and also seeing the gorillas was amazing. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. I absolutely loved it. And the craziest thing was that we were about 3 rows from the front. And while I was, busting my moves, really enjoying the music, Damon Albarn, the actual singer of the Gorillas, pointed at me and smiled, which was cool. I don't know, now that I'm saying it, it sounds like he was laughing. He wasn't laughing at me. It was like an appreciative smile, not look at this strange guy flailing at me. In fact, maybe it could have been that. My dance moves aren't exactly that good. Another theory that seems to be doing the rounds on Twitter is that Damon Albarn is a fan of the Hermitcraft series. Anyway, all of those theories aside, now that I've come to the realization that maybe one of my childhood heroes was laughing at my dancing, it is time to start work on the slime farm itself. We need to start actually killing off these slimes properly and collecting their drops, because as you can see, this thing is working incredibly well. There is not a single layer of the slime farm that doesn't have slimes on it, which is an incredibly good sign. So, first things first, we have got to... well, I guess we've got to create the killing stations down at the bottom, and to do that, we're going to be using magma blocks. This is actually going to be quite difficult because there's so many slime. Yeah, so what we've got is we've got the powered rails, so we need to do the powered rails, and that's going to send our minecart around, and then the minecart, yeah, the magma blocks on top, and then these blocks going around, then the iron golems. It actually shouldn't be that difficult. Does anyone know where I've left all my shulker boxes? I mean, I've just found the redstone one here, but there's still the precious items one missing, and also another one that I don't even... my bread box. Where on earth do I leave things? You would have thought by now I'd be better at this. Now, if you're wondering why I'm keeping so many of these little annoying slimes around me, it's actually to increase or make a dent in the mob cap. Just a small dent in the mob cap, but to try and prevent quite so many slimes spawning, because I have almost been killed by so many slime. How have those guys got in? I guess they've probably spawned up here, landed down here, then jumped inside. That scared me then. Progress update number 1, we have got all of the cubby holes in place. So we've got 8 of these little rooms wrapping around the entire thing. They're 11 blocks back from the platform, and they're 8 blocks across. And this is where all of the minecart action is going to be happening. So our minecart rails are going to be kind of wiggling around the front here, doing something a little bit like this, and then they're going to wrap out the back here. This is where our hopper timers are going to be, and where all of the hoppers are going to be going, and then this is where also all of the items are going to be sent up into the item elevators, into the storage systems. Okay, so that is part number 1. What comes next? It is literally impossible to build with all of these little guys around. I mean, seriously, it's driving me mad. The good news is, though, I am getting quite quick at placing in our zigzags. So these minecart rails go across like this, and then we occasionally power some powered rails. They then wrap around like that, and then they do a little loop out the back, and that is where our hopper is going to be going, right there. So this is like the most important part of the circuit, because without it, we're not actually going to be picking up any slimes from our slime farm. Is that skeleton trying to shoot that slime? Look, he looks like he's trying to fire at something, and then he stops. How peculiar. Anyway, we've got all 8 of our little roller coasters wrapping around, and you can see the slimes quite like them. They're all running about them too. So now I'm quickly going to have to fly back over to my base to pick up a whole bunch of magma blocks, because as I've said many times now, and as you've seen at the start of the video, we're going to be using magma blocks to actually kill the slimes, making use of iron golems, which is a really interesting game mechanic. I never realized that was a thing. I never realized that slimes went towards iron golems like that. That's crazy useful, because generally speaking, when you build a slime farm, you have to watch the slimes kind of gradually making their way through the farm and then occasionally falling off the platforms. So the fact that we can use that to kind of make them run off the platforms means that this thing is going to be much more efficient. At least, fingers crossed it is. I've just realized I have my other Minecraft account open on my other screen so that I can use it as a reference when building I hate doing that. So if you can hear slimes and minecarts moving, that's just what that is. Alright, now things are looking a lot better. Now, we don't even have our bait in place just yet. We don't have any of the iron golems in. But these little magma blocks right here, they do a really, really good job at killing the slimes. That if I punch this guy onto here, those little fellas die instantly. Now, that's going to help out massively with the spawn cap. So, obviously, you know, you've got the mob spawning cap. If we can kill these guys off as fast as possible, then that means that we're going to be able to spawn them as fast as possible as well, which means that we're going to get slime as fast as possible. Now, I think this is what our little bait holder is going to be looking like. So inside there, that's where our iron golem is going to be going, and the reason that we're using fence posts is because the slimes can see through it, but they can't jump through this gap. So this gap is too small for even a baby little slime to jump through, which means that none of them are going to end up in here, because if they did, then that means that obviously they wouldn't be killed. And eventually, once enough of them got into these little zones, the entire slime farm would stop working, which we're going to try and avoid to the best of our abilities. Oh, it looks like our iron golem spawns in the wall though, but it also looks like it works. Look at all the slime that are dying. Holy mackerel. Oh my word, that's a fast enough slime farm as it is. Oh, this guy's been suffering for ages. I feel like a terrible person. Oh, I mean, what a horrible way to go. This has been... Oh, there we go. Finally, he's been put out of his misery. This is a lot of fun to watch. I mean, look. We've got one big slime over there, one big slime over there, both of which are going to the iron golems. And, I mean, they are just getting... Everyone's just getting massacred. Look, I have got no slime in my inventory right now. If we walk on top of these magma blocks... So there is 60 bits of slime. That's 64 and 3. There's 2 stacks. There's 2 stacks of slime. Oh my word, I just got obliterated by a slime. How on earth did that just happen? That literally took about 9 health points off me. Wow, I've got to be careful. Anyway, despite some slightly hairy moments, we are now all done with the first layer, the main layer, in fact, of iron golems. Now, this iron golem layer is technically the most important because this is the one that is actually forcing the slimes to be killed in the item pickup locations. And as you can tell from the concentrations of slime balls near them, it seems to be working pretty nicely. Okay, this is extremely promising. In fact, I'm really not seeing any slimes around the outside here. Do we even need the golems going up to the top? It's a good question. Well, what we'll do is we'll build them. And you know what? I'm going to do it in the form of a third-person time-lapse because this is going to get repetitive real fast. So, in today's super fast time-lapse chat, I want to make a very exciting announcement, which is something that you guys have been asking for an incredibly long time. And, you know, I don't even know where this started. I have a feeling it started on Twitter. I think I had made a post about a mini documentary that I'd made I think it might have either been Dave. Well, I've only done 2 mini documentaries. We have a bunch of them lined up, but the ones that we've released is we've got the Elizabeth McNeil and then we have the David. I feel like it might have been when I released my first mini documentary. Grian responded to that post by saying he said he really liked it, and then he also said that he would like me to come round and do a mini documentary on him and his cats. And we all kind of laughed and it was all good fun. And then we started thinking, you know what, that would actually be a really, really fun project to work on. And it's happening. It's actually happening this Friday. So I am actually going to be travelling over to see Grian. I'm going to be taking all my camera, well, not all of my camera equipment because I have ridiculous quantities of camera equipment, but a lot of the camera equipment, we're going to be taking a whole bunch of it, and we're going to shoot a totally serious cat mini documentary, but it's about cats. So we're going to try our best to make it really cinematic and really cool looking, but it's going to be about Grian and his love for cats. So we're currently, well, I mean, everything's kind of coming together. Vicky and I have been coming up with some plans. We've been writing out the questions for the interview, and we've been working out how we want to film it, what sort of style we're going to go for, and everything like that. But all in all, it's just going to be interesting. It's going to be one of those things that this is a project that I mean, to be quite frankly honest with you, I wasn't really expecting to work on it, and it's completely unlike anything that I've ever worked on in the past. So it's going to be interesting to see if I can pull it off, but I'm super, super excited for it. And of course, that is going to be released on the filming channel. And then I believe, don't hold me to this because I need to actually re-clarify, but I believe Grian is also going to be uploading it to his channel as well. So they're both going to go up at the same time in both locations. I don't know when it's going to come out. These things, you know, mini documentaries and things, they do tend to take time, but it's going to be filmed on Friday, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So prepared to see lots of behind the scenes photos on Instagram and also on Twitter. Finally, after a good few hours of work, this thing is now all finished with all of the iron golems in place. And I must admit, although I can't really see strictly an increase in performance, I don't know, now that I'm looking around, yeah, I do think this has made things faster. Look at these guys. So there is pretty much constantly a slime dying. And we're not even in the optimum standing location at all. Like, at all. Because I'm currently shutting off probably about 90% of the farm, actually. So if I was to sit maybe up at the top, then that is really going to start kicking into action. Because when I'm up here, I've now unloaded all of the farm, or at least I've allowed slimes to spawn in the entire farm, which means that when we're standing here, yeah, they're going to be spawning everywhere. And if we just take a look, I mean, this guy doesn't seem too fussed about the iron golems. I think, no. Have I built this at the wrong height? That guy just despawned too. This is not the best advert for the slime farm here. Yeah, I seem to have killed all its spawning. It was spawning better a second ago. I don't really know what to say about that one. Oh, there are slimes. So that's good. How peculiar. Right, now that I'm actually watching this thing, it's quite obvious that it does actually work. So the large slimes and all the medium slimes just suddenly launch themselves towards the iron golems, and we have got plenty of death happening on the magma, which is exactly what I want to see. I mean, look at this. Look, plenty of slime balls there. We've got a large slime dying there. If I just run around, so I had no slime in my inventory when I jumped down here because I just dumped it into my chests. And we take a look at what we've got in the last 5 minutes. This is just 5 minutes of operation. It's looking like we've got a pretty decent haul of items. I mean, already that's 4 stacks, and I'm only halfway around the farm. I'm actually going to die before I actually pick up all of the slime that we've got. So let's see. This guy, yep, they're dead, and then they've died. Okay, we've got another large slime coming in. But yeah, around about 5 stacks. That's impressive. So now what I've had to do is we're going underneath and I'm going to start wiring up all of these systems now. So I'm going to have one universal redstone clock, which is going to be powering these minecart rails, which is going to be sending our minecarts around. And then I'm also going to have one universal hopper stream. So we're going to run all of the items around into one set of hoppers, and then we're going to send the items up the center through an item elevator and up into our storage system. Okay, I just found a ridiculous set of diamonds. I was mining it out, I didn't seem too fussed by it, but that was a 9er. There was diamond there, so that's 3. And then there's 4 there, so that's 7, and then I guess there was 1 down there. That's 8 in total. I wonder if there's any extra around. Because that seemed like 2 veins smashed together. Right, there we go. We now have one full loop making his way all the way around our slime farm. So this is going to be our hopper and redstone loop. Okay. How am I going to do this? Where is the item elevator actually going to be going? I guess the item elevator will go up somewhere around about here, and then underneath those slime heads, or the one slime head that we currently have up at the top here, that's where we'll do a lot of the item distribution. So it will be distributed out into 2 different hoppers, and then they'll make their way into, yeah, these little storage systems here. Yeah, Yeah, that makes sense. Now, as a small confession, as I said when I was building it, this storage system is way bigger than we're ever going to need, so these storage systems are actually all going to be decorative. This one is going to be the only one that actually has slime on the inside from the farms. I'm just starting to realise quite how many hoppers this is actually going to use. That right there is one full stack. One full stack wrapping around. Okay, yeah, we're gonna need quite a few. And I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't actually know if we have enough iron for the hoppers. I really struggled to get enough iron to make all of those iron golems. We've used up all of the iron in my storage system. Okay, we've got some more chests, which is good. We actually really don't need those trap chests, that's no good. We don't have any hoppers in the storage system, do we? No. Do we have any wood in the storage system as well? Is that something we're running out of? No, thankfully not. Okay, so that's one thing that we don't have to gather. Yeah, we definitely don't have enough. This is all the iron that I've got in the iron farm. It's all the iron I've got in my storage system. And it's all of the iron that Tango... Well, I didn't pick up any of Tango Tech's iron, to be quite frankly honest with you. But he only has a couple of stacks of iron as well. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I can't remember the last time I ran into this problem. Come on, tiny little iron farm. It has delivered in the past. Because this place has been loaded by Cubfan and Scar and everything like that, I have good feelings. I have good feelings! Yes! It has saved the day! Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, I love it. Okay, yeah, that is perfect. Nice. So, all of those hoppers are now fully connected in, and every single item from this farm, well, once we get all the hopper minecarts in, we'll be traveling through these hopper lines and wrapping round into that central section over there. Okay, next up, we need to create the hopper clock, which is then going to run into the redstone lines, which is then going to be powering up each one of these powered rails. This is how not to create a hopper clock. I don't know what I've done. I don't know what I've done. Oh, I think I've worked out what I've done. That was... I don't think I've ever built a hopper clock that badly. And right, that is that ticked off the list as well. Okay, we're making some pretty serious progress here, so that is everything hooked up. That's all good. We've got ourselves the hopper clock. I've currently got a lever switched on up at the top there so that I can see how long I can run the redstone lines for. But once that's switched off, all of these hoppers will be unlocked. And that means that the actual redstone for the farm is working. I'm trying... What else do we actually have to do? I think just put in the hopper minecarts and that could be it. So that is redstone here, block, redstone, block, repeater, and redstone. And that is now shooting out all of the slime balls. So you can see that the slimes are running into this system and they're being shot out by the droppers. And let's see, are any new slime balls coming through? I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about the minecart system. I don't know if it was actually picking up all the slime balls. Oh look, we can see some slime balls coming through there. I don't know. Cool. Okay, so the slime is now traveling up to the top. Everything looks like it's working. I just looked at those droppers for around about 5 or 6 minutes, just seeing if the correct number was coming through, and it seems to be correct. And you can see that, yeah, we've got... That's quite a lot of slime to already have. And you can see that more is popping up into my inventory and is coming out all over the place. So I'm guessing... Right, we need to find the central point of this... And then we can extend out our item elevator. So that should go up like this. And like that. And then this is where our hoppers are going to be going. And they're going to be taking the items out into our chests. You know, at some point in the near future, I'm actually going to have to fix up that iron farm. Because that's going to be a big issue. Not having... I can't remember the last time I didn't have, like, a regular supply of iron. I mean, seriously. We've had that since episode, what? Well, probably episode 2 or 3 when I built the iron farm. We've had lots of iron lying around. This is scary. Anyway, despite that, we have managed to gather up enough iron to make enough hoppers to run it into the back of our chests. And there we go. That has done it. So, this thing is now connected up. It is now an official storage system. This is what it looks like. which it actually looks quite cool with the slime block on top. And as you can see, this thing is dropping slimes into it. So we've got 63 in there, and then also because there's probably a decent amount of slime being left at each end, there's probably a decent amount of slime in these chests. Yeah, it looks like there is. So when you think that that is just probably about 5 minutes worth of slime, I would say we have gotten off to a pretty strong start in terms of item pickups. I mean, look. So you've got slimes dying there. I wonder if we have anything on the other side. Yep. Big slime dying there. We've got another one that's just died there. This is really, really cool to see. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is actually all I've got time for today. This has been a really fun episode of Hermitcraft. We've made a ton of progress. We've actually got the farm up and running, so it's now connected to a storage system. The slime farm is done. The slime farm is completed. We have constructed it. It is working. So I guess in the next episode, we'll do up the finishing details, and that will actually be this project finished. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please sure to that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.